Right. Well, hello to everyone. Thanks so much for being here virtually. I'm Sloan Martin, Lynx sideline reporter on FanDuel Sports Network. We have a lot to get to, a lot of new exciting faces to introduce, one familiar face to revisit with. And as we look at the latest additions to the 2025 Minnesota Lynx, we're going to go in order by acquisition type, draftees, a trade, and then our free agent signings as well. So there's a lot to get to here today. To media members, please put your questions in the chat, and we're going to call on you later once we introduce everybody, and then we'll open it up for questions right after that. All right, first, we have on hand Cheryl Reeve, head coach and president of basketball operations. We're going to introduce these players individually in just a moment, but when you see these names that you've brought in, this is a stacked training camp. Can you talk about just how competitive you expect camp to be and the combination of both the experience and the youth that you've brought in here in 2025?
Yeah, and as you mentioned, that's always the goal, right? To have the most competitive training camp and at every position, and we think we certainly succeeded in that space, and began with free agency and had some key additions, and one big re-sign. T played hard to get. We were able to get that done, and we had to go all the way to Turkey for Miriam to had a wonderful dinner with her and her family, and we're able to convince her that Minnesota would be the best space for her. And then we had in Grace, a player that we liked in college, and it's a player 2 years experience at Indiana that we claimed off of waivers, and then traded for Carly Samuelson, and then we had the draft. So we're pleased with all the players that we've added here, and all of them will have a chance to show what they've got in training camp, and see if we can get a 2025 roster together that can compete for a championship.
Really exciting, interesting mix for sure. Let's start now with our draftees, introducing them. We have the 15th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft from Russia, Anastasia Oleri-Kosu. Now, first, tell us your first name, what you like to go by, and how we should refer to you.
Yeah, just Ola.
Just Ola. Okay. And you go by Olari.
Yeah, like you want.
Yeah.
Either
Okay. Great. Now, you in Russia played with WNBA players for years in your home country and have looked up to them for a long time as well. Tell us about your dream of playing in the WNBA and just this opportunity you have with the Lynx right now.
Yeah, of course, it was my dream, yeah, when I was a child, and I really want to thank all team and coaches, managers for giving an opportunity for me and their trust. And of course, I'm looking forward to working together, and I just want to share my energy for my team and to growing up and learning from my teammates.
Were there any W players you remember having hard competition against or who you really looked up to when you were young?
Может быть, какие-то игроки из WNBA, в которых ты бы хотела поиграть, когда была молодая?
Yeah, of course. For example, it's Brianna Stewart or Asia Wilson. I really want and I really like to watch their game, and yeah,
Those
I'm
I'd like to compete.
that I like to compete, of course.
Yeah, no, those are good ones to try and look up to. Welcome to Minnesota. Thanks so much. Delia Daniels, also taken in the second round at the University of Washington, one of the best shot blockers in the Big Ten last season, one of the best in Huskies history. Delia, it was so fun to watch your draft celebration video, how everyone went crazy playing in your hometown. Tell us about that moment getting drafted to the Lynx after your first season in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I think it was just a surreal moment for me. I know like how hard I've worked and just kind of like seeing all that kind of come to fruition, which is really special for my family and I. And I think just being the youngest out of all my siblings, just I think it was special for them to just see me like accomplishing something that was really big.
No, that's awesome. You played at the barn last year, and then now you get look at Target Center on the other side of town this time. We move to Aubrey Griffin, of course, the national champion from UConn, selected in the third round. It is no secret around here how much Coach Reeve keeps an eye on UConn players. You came on strong the second half of the season, Aubrey, coming off an injury. How did playing in stores for Coach Auriemma prepare you for this moment and the other players, past and present, who have been able to mold you and pour into you from that program?
I think being there as long as I did and competing with other great players helped me become better and just prepare me for the next level overall. I'm super excited to just learn from uh, the vets and just learning how I can contribute and help our team win. Honestly, Coach Gino prepared me for anything, literally, like all my roles I've been through the whole 6 years I've been there. I'm willing, I'm pretty confident I can handle anything.
In the last couple of years, with a lot of injury problems for the Huskies, I'm pretty sure you've played every position in your career.
Yeah, I definitely. So I'm prepared for whatever it is.
All right, well, Aubrey, welcome to Minnesota. Now, those are the draftees, but leading up to the draft, the Lynx traded the number 11 pick to Chicago for a 2026 first rounder, then used their own first round pick for 2026 to bring over Carly Samuelson in a trade from Washington. Carly, first, as I throw this to you, tell us about learning that you had been traded on a cross-Atlantic flight. Did your phone break down? I mean, just tell us about that moment when you learned that you are on a new team.
This was probably the first flight in a long time that the Wi-Fi did not work, which is funny. Yeah, I was flying back from the Final Six where Miriam was competing as well. My phone blew up. I did not expect that to happen. But it's draft day, anything can happen. So I was super excited. I got a bunch of text messages before my phone could actually connect to the internet. So I knew I was traded, but I didn't know where. And I was like, oh God, what's what's happening? But I couldn't be happier.
Okay, good. That's important to include here because I wanted to ask you here coming to Minnesota, who, by the way, you as someone who went from undrafted to working your way as a starter the last two seasons. You reunite with former Stanford teammate Alana Smith. You were coached by Eric Tebow. Just tell us about connecting again with those players and coming to a team that has championship aspirations.
Yeah, I mean, when I found out it was Minnesota, I was, like I just said, extremely happy. I've played with Lamb before. My sister played all 4 years with Fee at UConn, so I know Fee very well. And just watching Minnesota last year, I just love the way the team plays, and I'm couldn't be happier to both fit in with this team and then add something more to this team too. And I think in playing for Cheryl, and I played for Eric Tebow obviously last season. I think I'm going to feel really comfortable and excited to add to the energy of the team.
Awesome. Well, welcome to Minnesota. Let's move on now to the free agent signings. And Atisha Heidemann coming back for her second season with the Lynx, a top reserve on last year's team that went to the WNBA finals. You heard Coach Reeve say that were you playing hard to get? Tell us about that process to re-sign and coming back to Minnesota here and trying to lead this team to a WNBA championship.
Yeah, obviously my first time experiencing like real free agency, so just going through that process. But I knew I was coming back to Minnesota the whole time. So just the run that we had last year, I think it was really special, especially for like our first season all being together. So just having the opportunity to potentially do that again and just like the great group of people that we have at Minnesota and just the players, coaches, everything, the environment was really fun. So I'm looking forward to what we do this year.
Yeah, not just the chance to get back to the WNBA finals, compete for a championship, but just tell us also about what you were just talking about, the culture of this team, the people that are here that also drew you back.
Yeah, I think that was like, a big part of our success is just the culture that Minnesota got and the culture that, like Fee and K-Mac have established there and then like even the players before them have established. So I think like the work environment and everything there is just it makes playing basketball super easy. And I think, like I said, that's why we were so successful. We cared about each other on and off the court. So you working, but it don't really feel like work. So it's it's a blessing.
That's a great way to put it and a great thing to have. Welcome again to T.
Thanks.
Let's move to Mariam Badian, who comes to the Lynx as a highly decorated, highly successful player from France, numerous medals between club and international competition. First, Mariam, make sure, can you just say your name first and last for our media here and whatever you like to go by? Oh, looks like you're muted. There we go.
Better? Yeah. So it's Mariam Bazian. You said it well, but Badou is easier, so you can call me Badou.
Perfect. So obviously you have achieved so much in your career. Last year, winning a silver medal at the Olympics with the French national team, playing against Cheryl Reeve in the United States. Also, a EuroLeague champion alongside Minnesota's own Kayla McBride. At this stage in your career, tell us about your decision to come to the WNBA and why Minnesota, and what do you think you want to bring right here in the W?
Yes, first of all, I'm really excited. As you said, I think I'm gonna be the oldest rookie of the WNBA this season, but I think I can help with my contribution, and it's gonna be a new experience. I'm really curious about that. I'm really curious about to play against a great player, the best of the world, and just that. It's gonna be great.
Awesome. Well, welcome to Minnesota. Happy to have you. And then we have Grace Berger, entering her third season in the W, had 2 years at the Indiana Fever, one of the all-time greats in Indiana Hoosier program history. Obviously, Grace, it is enticing to sign with a team that's going to be competing for a WNBA championship, but how do you see yourself being a fit on the floor with your game? And from a culture standpoint, as someone like yourself who's just known as being a really hard worker?
Yeah, I mean, I think they already have a pretty established culture that they've worked to establish for many, many years, well before obviously I've gotten here. So I don't really, know if I need to add anything, just trying to fit in, working hard, staying after practice, getting up extra shots, and just being a good teammate. I think, the teammates that I've met so far have done a good job of helping me, understand what being a part of the Lynx is all about. So I think that'll hopefully be a pretty easy transition. And then just on the court, again, they don't need a whole lot, but just coming in, I pride myself on being versatile. So just adding to the team in any way that I can. And yeah, hopefully competing for championships.
Speaking as someone who's worked with both, I feel like there's good parallels between Terry Moore and Cheryl Reeve too, who demand a lot of energy, doing things right. I think that'll be a good fit for you. Welcome to Minnesota. Let's now, I think, open it up to questions. I don't see anything in the chat. If anybody wants to try and hop in with that. Oh, here we go. One second. All right, I guess we're going to do hands then. If you want to raise your hand here in the Zoom function. Okay, we have one here from Maggie Vanoni asking for Aubrey, just what the past week has been like for you, coming off winning the national championship in Tampa, being drafted. Obviously, that can be a really quick turnaround, and what that's looking like for you so far.
It's been a roller coaster of emotions, coming off the national championship and then next weekend, the draft. But honestly, just blessed and so many feelings, great feelings came from it. And I'm just honestly excited for my future and just focusing on that right now. And just overall, I still can't wrap my head around it, even though it's been a minute. But just super happy, grateful, and just try to stay present in each moment.
All right, let's go to Kent Youngblood.
Well, hello. I'd like to start with a question for Carly. You obviously have a lot of connections here with Alana and with Eric, but I mean, when you were watching this team from afar and kind of seeing the way they operated last year, what were your impressions of like the keys to their success? And you said you could perhaps add to what this team had, and what ways do you think that can be?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear from watching how the team played last year that they're very team oriented and Fee's playing some of the best basketball in the world. I like the way that they played team ball on both ends of the floor. And I just got a chance to play with BC over in Europe, and just I respect the way she plays. I always have, but seeing it in person as a teammate, it's the stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, honestly. It's like stunting, being there for your teammate. And I think Cheryl really appreciates that in play, and I appreciate that in basketball too. So I think that's just another way that I can add to this team. I think I'm an unselfish player. Obviously, we have K-Mac and Fee, some of the best scorers in the league. So I think it's just fitting in that way, and then my shooting and just adding to consistency and just being a solid vet off the bench.
And a quick question for Aubrey. Just wondering how Coach was talking about you might have to be managed, just kind of your health, make sure you're 100%. Can you just give us an update on how you're feeling with that knee?
Still doing rehab, just continuing to work on getting healthy 100% right now.
All right, let's go to Andrew Lipton next.
Thanks so much. I had a question for Miriam. I know the last game in the Olympics was very disappointing, but that last play was unbelievable, even though it didn't give you the result you wanted. I was watching the replay of that last play. When you're going after Copper hits that foul shot, what's going through your mind in terms of do you think you still have a chance to win the game? And what are you thinking about as you're going up court in that last play?
I didn't get the end. Sorry.
Uh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I know that last game in the Olympics was disappointing, but I thought that last play was amazing, even though it didn't give you the results you wanted. After Copper hit that foul shot, what do you think? What's going through your mind? Do you think you can still win the game? Are you thinking of getting position? What's going through your mind in those last 4 seconds as you're going up court?
I mean, of course, we were there to win, so we definitely hope to win the game. I think we played until the end, and unfortunately, like the short throw was done already. But yeah, I think we fought for that, and we were close, and we believed it till the end. But it was a hard game. It was a great game, and I'm really grateful I was able to play against those great players. And yeah.
Thanks so much. Best of luck with the Lynx.
All right, let's next. I'll open it up to Terry. I know you were in the chat, but you can go ahead and hop in.
Yeah, my first question is for T. T, welcome back. Great to see you. Just wanted to get your take on participating in the first season of Unrivaled, and how beneficial of an experience it will be to spend that time with Lynx teammates over that part of the off season when in the past you all kind of had to go your separate ways playing around the world.
Yeah, Unrivaled was super fun, just like the format of it, the 3-on-3 full court. I think, it really made like me work on my like different parts of my game. Obviously 3-on-3, like I gotta go against like bigs and then just everything. But it was really fun, and obviously the league was like super successful, reaching numbers that like I think nobody expected. And then just the opportunity to play with so many different players that I never got to play with. That was a really fun experience, and getting to know players on like a personal level. So I would say it was like a 10 out of 10 for sure. And then what was the second part?
Just you kind of answered it, but just
Oh,
being able
okay.
to spend time with Court and Fee and K-Mac.
Oh yeah, they're my dogs. So you already know we was kicking it. It was good vibes.
All right, let's Terry, did you have another question?
Yeah, one for Carly as well. Just once all the excitement kind of died down and you were able to get back to Wi-Fi/phone service, who was that sort of first conversation with, and just sort of how did you process all that information from the moment you landed? And I think Pat wants to know exactly what that flight was like too, from where to where. But yeah, just what those sort of moments were like once the information finally set in.
I was flying from Madrid to Charlotte, so I had a connection. But my first call was to my sister Lou. I was like, was I traded? And she just told me yes. And then my second call, I was in customs picking up my luggage to connect, and I called Cheryl and the group. Yeah.
All right, let's next go to Andrew.
Hey T, welcome back. I was just wondering, what advice would you have for the new players that got signed in? You were kind of in a similar situation last year, being new to training camp. And then I do want to ask, how big was Nagini in coming back to the Lynx?
First, I just want to say welcome to all the new people. It's definitely an experience. So I would just say soak up all the knowledge, soak up everything that you can, and enjoy the ride. I think that just the people that we have at Minnesota, y'all have nothing to be worried about. It's gonna be fun. We all got y'all back. Whatever y'all need, questions, all of that. It's good vibes for real. And then if for y'all that don't know, Nagini is the world famous dog who sits courtside every game. He was probably like the main reason why I came back, or she was probably the main reason why I came back for sure. So yeah,
I kind of figured.
yeah, that's the only reason why.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
Jordan, you're next.
Hello, Jordan from Television Sports. My question is for Aubrey. So again, congrats on being drafted. My question is just, who was it that you watched growing up and tried to model your game after?
Well, I grew up in a basketball family, so I grew up watching a lot of basketball. Honestly, you looked up to my brothers and their ethic. My younger brother went to Duke, so I was watching him just, even though he's younger, I was looking up to him and just his work ethic. And then he made it to the NBA, and I had the same dreams and goals in mind, so I always looked up to him growing up.
Thank you.
All right, do we have additional questions? Andrew, Maggie, Terry?
I have one for
Me
Grace.
too.
Okay, we'll go around. Terry, you can hop in first.
I have one for Grace and then also one for Delea if I have time. But Grace, I know you've been in the facility the last few weeks and had an appearance at the team's official draft party on Monday night. Just sort of now that you've been in market for a while, just kind of what have your impressions of Minnesota been? What have your impressions of the Lynx fans on being able to work with the staff in person, and just what have these last few weeks been like for you?
It's been great. I'm really excited that my time overseas well, I wasn't excited that it ended short, but once I got home, that I was able to come here for a few weeks before training camp started. So then I could kind of familiarize myself with the facility, with my teammates, with the coaches. So that's been really nice. I've been able to get in workouts with, Courtney and Fee, which I don't think, a lot of stars are necessarily here working out with the younger players, but they've been in the gym with us just about every day. So already starting to learn from them and just, getting to practice with some of the best players in the world. It's been super cool, super fun. Something I'm very grateful for. And then the fans the other night, being able to see them there just for a draft party was super exciting, but I'm not surprised because I've played against Minnesota before. I think they have some of the best fans in the W. So I'm really excited to be a part of that as well.
And then real quick for Delea, there's obviously a lengthy history of great post players with this organization. Sylvia Fowles' number is in the rafters. So is Rebecca Brunson, who's going to work with you personally. Just how exciting was it for you to, to not only hear your name on draft day, but know that you're going to a organization that has maximized this position and getting to work with Rebecca Brunson one-on-one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful for this opportunity, not just to be there, but to compete and to just add value, like wherever I am, and just to be able to learn from the greats. And I think we're so fortunate to even have, Nafisa and other players who like are similar to me, and I'm able to just kind of like pick their brain and see how like they work, see how they show up every single day as a pro. And I'm grateful and I'm excited to get to work and learn from them.
Thanks so much.
Now let's go to Maggie again.
Yeah. Hey, Aubrey. Good to see you again. Congratulations. How excited are you just to play with Dorka again and get to reunite with her? Has she sent you like a welcome to Minnesota text or anything?
Yeah, she sent me a little text, and I'm just super excited to get to see her again. And we've been talking a little bit, but I love Dorcas, so I'm just excited.
Yeah, and on the same note, how are you looking forward to being able to pick Nafisa's brain and learn from her in camp and just figure out from her like what makes a good pro?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm excited to just learn from all the vets, not just her, and just the work and what it takes, and just I'm excited to pick their brains and just continue how I can get better.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kent, go ahead.
Yeah, I know we'll have a chance to talk about this more in the future, but Carly, in terms of your WNBA career, you had to be pretty persistent through some early in the career when you weren't getting the time maybe you would hoped and you were going from team to team, but you kind of found your footing 2 seasons ago and then kind of took another step last year. Can you just talk about kind of the perseverance you needed to kind of get through those times and what do you think finally clicked for you?
Yeah, I think I mean I'm surrounded by great people, and I'm grateful for my trainers and my family for supporting me. But I think a key thing for me was continuing to play overseas and just continuing to play basketball. And I think I've been cut, I don't know how many times, but when I got chances, even on hardships, I ended up actually playing more minutes than some of the years I was on the team for the whole season. So, yeah, I think I just love basketball. So I have a passion for it. So I'm glad that it's clicked, I guess, for me in this way. I'm grateful to Eric Thibault for giving me my first official deal last year. And I was joking with him. I guess the 2-year deal ended up both years with him anyway. So I'm just enjoying the journey, and I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity right now.
All right. Are there any other questions, Terry or anyone else have any additional questions? Andrew?
Yeah, this one's for Ola. If you could kind of explain just what's the one thing Lynx fans should know about you that may haven't followed your journey over in Russia?
Oh, hold on. Looks like you're muted.
Can you repeat the question, please? My translator didn't hear you.
Просит объяснить, что
Of course, if there was one thing that Lynx fans should know about you that haven't seen you play over in Russia, what would you say that is?
что самое главное, ну, как бы фанаты Линкс должны знать о тебе, что ты вот из России. Что еще ты бы поделилась о себе?
Переведешь?
Мгм.
My translated help me. Я просто игрок, который любит бороться, играть за свою команду.
Мгм.
Я хочу быть
Секунду.
полезной и просто помогать своей команде. Не,
Мгм.
переведешь?
Да-да-да. I'm just a player who loves to fight for my team, to be helpful for my team, and to contribute a lot.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Pat.
Yeah, thanks, Sloan. This is also for Ola. I'm wondering if you've ever been to the United States and when you think you might be able to get to training camp.
No, I've never been in US, and I really want to start training camp early, but I have the final game on 30th of April or 1st of May, and I don't know. I just wait my visa documents.
Yeah, and you would have hard to tell how long that whole process is going to take, right?
Займет процесс.
I don't know. We work with it with my agent and my manager.
Okay, thank you.
Jordan, it looks like, did you have another question?
I did. I put it in the chat, but it didn't come out like I thought it would. But it's for Aubrey again. So I guess just talk about what do you think is one part of your game that is underrated that many people don't know too much about?
A good question. Um, as people do know about, I bring defense and just energy and effort every time I step on the floor. I'm some maybe someone might not know about my game. They don't watch probably my offensive end too as well, but not just like defensive, but like scoring probably. That's a hard question, but I would say that.
Thank you. Good luck.
Hey.
All right, are any remaining questions out here? Nobody? All right, I think we're going to call it a day. So appreciate the time, Coach Reeve, and all the Lynx newcomers for 2025. So excited for what training camp is going to look like, how competitive it is going to be. Thanks to our media members for joining today, covering this team for a squad that's looking to get back to the WNBA finals and come out on top. So thanks again so much for everybody, and appreciate the time and the coverage.